And when Daniel heard that secret, he realized his family had been hiding something from him for years. Something far bigger than greed. Something that would change everything. This is the man who attended his own funeral, part 2. The night before the funeral, Daniel could not sleep. Rain tapped softly against the windows of the apartment where he had been hiding for nearly 3 weeks. The following morning, he planned to reveal himself. The experiment would finally be over. He would return home, confront his family, and move on with his life. At least, that was what he thought. Around 10 p.m., Daniel received a call from his lawyer, Emeka. His voice sounded unusually tense. "Daniel, I think you should come to my office immediately." "What happened?" Daniel asked. "I don't want to discuss it over the phone." Daniel immediately sensed trouble. Less than 30 minutes later, he arrived at the lawyer's office. Emeka was waiting. Several documents were spread across his desk. His expression was grim. Daniel stood beside him. "What is it?" The lawyer slid a file towards him. "I was reviewing some company records this evening." Daniel opened the file. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Then, he noticed several transactions. Millions of naira had been transferred from company accounts over the past 3 years. Not once, not twice, repeatedly. Large amounts, hidden through multiple companies. Daniel frowned. "I never approved these." "I know." Daniel looked up. "Who authorized them?" Emeka hesitated. Then he answered, "Your brother." For a moment, Daniel simply stared. Anthony, his younger brother, the same brother he had trusted for years, the same brother he had defended countless times. "It gets worse," Emeka said quietly. Daniel's stomach tightened. "Worse?" The lawyer opened another folder. "What you are seeing isn't simple theft." Daniel scanned the papers. The transactions led to shell companies, properties, foreign accounts, business registered under first names. The amount involved was staggering. Daniel felt his chest tighten. Anthony had stolen billions, not millions, billions, and he had done it slowly enough that nobody noticed. Daniel's hands trembled. "No, I am afraid it's true." Daniel stood up and began pacing. His mind raced. Memories flooded back. Anthony constantly asking for authority, requesting signatures, handling contracts, managing projects. Daniel had trusted him completely, and now he realized that trust had been exploited. Then Emeka spoke again. "There is something else." Daniel stopped walking. "What?" The lawyer swallowed. "We discovered communications between Anthony and someone inside your family." A cold silence filled the room. Daniel's heartbeat quickened. "Who?" he asked. Emeka looked directly into his eyes. "Victoria." Daniel froze. The room suddenly felt smaller. "No, I am sorry." "No." The lawyer slowly handed him printed messages. Daniel read them, one page, then another, then another. His face drained of color. The messages were real. Victoria knew. She had known for years. Instead of exposing Anthony, she helped conceal the theft. In exchange, she received money and properties. Daniel sank into his chair. The betrayal was unbearable. His own wife, the woman he had spent 30 years loving, the woman who had stood beside him in church and promised loyalty, she had been deceiving him for years. Daniel felt as though the air had been knocked from his lungs. Then another realization struck him. If they've stolen this much, he looked up, they won't want me coming back. Neither man spoke, because both understood the implication. If Daniel returned, everything would be exposed. The theft, the fraud, the lies, and people facing that kind of loss often became desperate, very desperate. The next morning arrived. The cemetery was crowded. Hundreds of mourners filled the grounds. Business leaders, politicians, employees, friends, relatives. The expensive mahogany casket sat beneath a white canopy. Rain clouds hung overhead. The atmosphere was heavy with grief, at least on the surface. Victoria sat in front row dressed in black. Her face appeared solemn. Beside her sat Michael and Sandra. Anthony occupied another seat nearby. Anyone looking at them would see a grieving family. Only Daniel knew the truth. From inside a black SUV parked several hundred meters away, Daniel watched everything unfold. His disguise concealed most of his features. Beside him sat Emeka. "Are you ready?" the lawyer asked. Daniel stared towards the funeral. "No." The lawyer nodded. "Neither would I be." The service began. The pastor spoke about life, faith, legacy, purpose. Several people gave tributes. Some were sincere, others sounded rehearsed. Then something happened that Daniel never expected. An elderly man approached the microphone. Many people did not recognize him. Daniel did. It was Mr. Adeyemi, his secondary school teacher. The old man adjusted his glasses and began speaking. His voice trembled. When Daniel was 14 years old, he came to school barefoot. The crowd fell silent. I remembered because I bought him his first pair of shoes. Daniel felt tears forming. I watched the boy grow into a successful man, but what impressed me most was not his words. The old teacher paused. It was his heart. His voice broke. Daniel never forgot where he came from. For several moments, he could not continue. The crowd watched quietly. Then the old man finally whispered, "The world needed more men like him." Daniel wiped away tears. For weeks, he had focused on betrayal. Now, he was being reminded of something else. His life had mattered. Perhaps not to everyone, but it had at least mattered. More tributes followed. Former employees, community leaders, ordinary people. Many spoke of kindness Daniel himself had forgotten. The stories touched him deeply. Then the pastor announced the final prayer. The burial was about to begin. Emeka looked at him. "It's time." Daniel inhaled slowly, then opened the SUV door. The moment had arrived. He began walking towards the cemetery. At first, nobody noticed. People were focused on the caskets. The pastor had his eyes closed. The family sat silently. Then someone gasped. A woman pointed. Another person screamed. Heads turned one after another. The crowd parted. Daniel continued walking. Slowly, calmly, deliberately. The pastor opened his eyes. His mouth fell open. Several mourners staggered backwards. One man dropped his phone. Victoria looked up. The color vanished from her face. Michael nearly fell from his chair. Sandra screamed. Anthony looked as though he had seen a ghost, which in a way he had. Daniel stopped beside the casket. Absolute silence filled the cemetery. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Finally, Daniel broke the silence. "Good morning." The reaction was explosive. People shouted. Others cried. Some began praying. A few genuinely believed they were witnessing a miracle. The pastor looked ready to faint. Daniel raised his hand. "Please, everyone, calm down." Gradually, the noise subsided. Then Daniel turned towards his family, the people closest to him, the people he once trusted most. His voice was calm, too calm. "I am not dead." Nobody responded. "I wanted to know who truly loved me." Victoria's eyes filled with tears, but Daniel no longer believed them. For weeks he had watched. For weeks he had listened. He knew the truth. Then he faced Anthony. "You stole from me." Anthony's expression shattered. The crowd murmured. Daniel continued. "You stole from the company. Anthony opened his mouth. No words came. Daniel turned towards Victoria. "You helped him hide it." Gasps erupted throughout the cemetery. Victoria began shaking. "Daniel, no." Her voice cracked. "I can explain." "You had years to explain." Silence. Heavy silence. Then Daniel reached into his pockets. He removed several documents. "The evidence has already been submitted to authorities." Anthony collapsed into a chair. Victoria burst into tears. For the first time, their fears seemed genuine, not because Daniel had returned, but because the truth had returned with him. Daniel looked around the cemetery at the hundreds of faces staring back. Then he smiled sadly. 3 weeks ago, I thought I was preparing for death." He paused. "But instead, I discovered who was truly alive in my life." His eyes found Esther and her children, the old teacher, former employees, ordinary people standing among the crowd. People who had loved him without expecting anything in return. Daniel's voice softened. "Thank you." Many people began crying, including Daniel himself. A week later, a new will was announced. The nation was shocked. Most of Daniel's fortune would not go to greedy relatives. Instead, it would establish scholarships, support orphanages, fund hospitals, help struggling students, provide grants for small businesses. Thousands of lives would benefit. The decision made headlines. But Daniel did not care about headlines anymore. For the first time in years, he felt peace. Months later, he sold several businesses and stepped away from corporate life. He spent more time helping people, more time living, more time appreciating those who genuinely cared. And whenever reporters asked why he had attended his own funeral, Daniel always gave the same answer. "The funeral wasn't for me." He would smile. "It was for the lies." Then he would walk away. Because the day Daniel Kafor attended his own funeral was not the day he discovered who wanted his money. It was the day he discovered who truly deserved his heart. As the story comes to an end, one truth becomes clear. Words can attract many people, but only character reveals who truly belongs in your life. Daniel spent years building businesses, buying properties, and providing for everyone around him. He believed that love and loyalty surrounded him, but it was only when the world thought he was gone and people's true hearts were revealed. Some saw his death as an opportunity to gain more wealth. Others genuinely mourned the loss of a man who has changed their lives through kindness and generosity. This story teaches us that not everyone who smiles with you is happy for you. True love is proven in difficult moments, not comfortable ones. A good name is worth more than riches. The lives you touch with kindness becomes your greatest legacy. Money can buy attention, but it cannot buy genuine love, loyalty, or respect. In the end, Daniel discovered that his greatest achievement was not the empire he built, but the people whose life he changed for the better. Remember, people may forget what you owned, but they will never forget how you treated them. And that, my friends, is the story of the man who attended his own funeral. What is your honest opinion about this story? Do you love it? Was it good, average, or excellent? Please leave your honest review in the comment section, and please click the subscribe button and turn on the post notification so you get notified when we post more stories. Till our next video, may wisdom guide your paths.